This is Deepak. I work at instamojo.com as digital marketing manager. Previously, I worked at practo.com. And how many of you know practo.com? Yeah, quite some people. So I worked as digital marketing manager in Practo, and before that, I worked as digital marketing manager in a startup called Exotel, a cloud telephony company. So, and even before that, for the first 4 years after graduation, I was running my own startup. And in my own startup, we did a lot of different things, including content marketing, lead generation, sales, and inside sales and things like that. So in the past 6 years of my digital marketing experience, I have gained lots of tips and tricks regarding inside sales and marketing. So that's what I want to share with you today. Uh, Here, the process that I am explaining, whatever the tips and tricks, is on an assumption that we are selling B2B, but it's not strictly B2B. It can be B2C also, but when you think of B2C, it's not like FMCG or mass consumer products. If you think of a educational product, which is like a high ticket item, maybe 20,000 rupees or things like that, you can apply the same methodologies, what I am discussing here. So when you think about the B2B marketing and sales process, so basically we have marketing and sales, and different people from, I think a lot of people from here are from marketing backgrounds. You may have different methods of looking at it, but this is the way I look at it. So you do marketing, especially in the B2B area, you do marketing to get into customers' contact details, lead generation. So you drive brand awareness, you create interest, and get the customers to potential prospects to leave their contact details. And then once you get the leads, you do the sales part to convert the prospect into customer. And by sales, I mostly assume it's inside sales, because not many people are doing field sales right now, and especially for, let's say, products which are priced from 20,000 to 1 lakh, within this range can be effectively sold via inside sales. It need not be field sales. Only very, very high-end products or projects needs to be sold via field sales. So here we are basically looking at what are the steps involved in marketing, and what I see it as, or I assume to be, old methods of marketing. So this may be a little bit different based on your experience and how the market looks at it. But of course, you will be able to categorize it and relate to it. So marketing, I believe that finding the product market fit and coming up with the right products is also a part of marketing, because I see marketing as a part of understanding the consumers and then adjusting the product according to their needs, right? So product market fit, how do you figure the product market fit, whether it fits the market? So you have focus groups, you do questionnaires, you do surveys, and kind of learn more about what the ideal customer needs. And then you drive product awareness. So of course, you have to get the word out, and without getting the word out, you will not be able to sell your products and services. So earlier, before the internet era, before the digital marketing era, people used to do TV ads, they did radio ads, they did print ads, and the marketing world was pretty simple in my view, because people who come from the FMCG background would know you have lots of historical data. If you have to reach 30% of your target market, how much you have to spend, which channels you have to spend, how much you have to spend for the creatives, whether it's ads or print ads and things like that, right? So then you have to communicate the benefits to the customer. So when it comes to things like FMCG products, for example, you cannot communicate the benefits of a soap to a customer, because it's pretty commoditized product and people know what it does, right? But when you get to higher end products, there has to be a clear communication of benefits to the customer. So the customer needs to be convinced why they need to buy the product. So again, to communicate these benefits, the channel was ad copy in TV, radio, print ads, and after lead generation, like even before lead generation, you communicate through phone. It is cold calling or things like that. So again, in the old marketing era, before digital marketing came, this was not very effective, right? You had limited communication mediums. You did not have rich media or email and things like that to communicate the benefits. Then you get the interest, lead generation. When it comes to high-end products, you get the lead. So the lead could be, for example, someone has a car dealership. They are selling the cars. Every person who walks into a store is a lead. Or leads could be, mail orders. So people request something through the mail, they get a catalog, and then you have the contact details. So you are, another way of collecting leads is you display the phone number, call this number to order. So that was the most common form of lead generation, right? So you would have seen infomercials on TV or whatever ads or print ads you would have seen, call this number to get started or call this number to order. So lead generation happened through the phone. So this is just the marketing part. I have not got into the sales part. So but now in the digital marketing era, so this is what I have seen in my age. I have seen only this. So I don't have much experience about the old methods, but of course I know what the new methods stand for and what are the advantages, right? So product market fit, the social media and online, it's like a focus group by itself, right? So without having actually organizing a focus group and creating surveys or things like that, you can just go and do social media listening. There are lots of social media listening tools. You can just go to Google and search for social media listening. And if you put certain keywords, you can track what people are talking about this category of products and things like that. So the entire market research part, coming up with the right products to fit the customer can be done online. So product awareness, you can do content marketing, social media and PPC ads to create product awareness. And of course, these channels are much more effective than the normal channels because it doesn't stop there. If people are interested, they are going into a deeper funnel and you will be able to communicate a lot more to the customer. So this initial part of my presentation may be a little bit boring because it's just the fundamental concepts, but towards the end of the presentation, I will show you some live examples of my own projects which I have done, which has completely automated the marketing and sales part. So only thing I do is just pay the freelancers to create content and automatically the sales are happening, which I will show you live. So then you have communication of benefits to the customer. So for example, when a customer likes to know more about, for example, you are advertising a car in a newspaper and you have a phone number, like call this number for a test ride. If you as a customer wants to know more about the car, there are limited ways to know more about the car, right? Maybe you can call, maybe they will bring for a test ride, but mostly you don't have time for a test ride and they need to make an appointment and you don't have too much time to spend learning about the car. But when it comes to online, of course, you can click on a YouTube video link, watch a 5-10 minute video and learn more about the car. So when it comes to the digital era, right? So content marketing, social media, PPC ads drive the brand awareness. But once the brand awareness is done, a percentage of people will be interested more in your products. They can easily learn more about it using your website and all the rich media content. So get interest lead generation can have leave phone and email in a form. So you would have seen lots of online websites like cardeco.com and other online portals. They have a lead generation form, or if you are doing a loan request, they have a lead generation form. So all the leads are collected online. So customer just leaves the phone and email in a form, and then there is an inside sales team which gets back and all the sales is happening online. So of course that is not completely automated. When the ticket price of an item is very high and if the product is very ambiguous or confusing to the customer, there is a little bit of human intervention that has to be done. Cannot be completely automated. But yes, completely automated is also possible in certain categories. So we are, in this case, for the example I told, we are more like semi-automating it. So let's see marketing automation. To research, as I said, you can do social media listening. You can do big data research. For example, Google Trends, whatever you have, the data from Google Trends is big data. And you can have a keyword cloud. For example, if you do social media listening, if you go to websites where your customers hang out, for example, if you are manufacturing a new car, just as an example, you can go to car portals and see what customers are complaining about, what customers are asking about, what are the keywords that the customer use, what do they relate to. So that you can do using keyword cloud. You can develop a keyword cloud. For example, when it comes to high performance cars, it could be something like, drivability, performance, handling. This is what they talk about. So that keyword cloud you get, and this helps a lot in your research, in developing the product and as well as marketing it. And then you have psychometrics. For example, what the customer is interested in, what is their daily life like what are their pressure points, what are their pain points. So these psychometric data you need to actually create some strong advertising which actually relates to the customers emotionally. There is a logical part to the advertising and there is an emotional part to the advertising. So people who have come from the FMCG background, they know, like, you need psychometric data to actually create ads which appeal. Then online ads, you have PPC ads, display ads, content marketing. And these can be semi-automated using rules. Like for example, for the past 6 months, my ads has been running on automation. So I just set up the rules. I just set up, this is the maximum bid I want to pay. This is the daily budget. This is the conversion target. This is the cost per lead I'm ready to pay. And for the past 6 months, I just spend a few hours every week to optimize it, and everything is automated right now. And also content marketing, you can create lots of content upfront and then create a frequency in which it goes out, including social media on your blogs, and it automatically goes out. So these automation things are available today, which was not available before the digital era. And then you communicate. Communication of product can be done via retargeting, social media responses, interactive websites and videos. As I said, customer can look at a YouTube video, look at a landing page, request a PDF document to learn more, and things like that. Lead generation can be highly optimized using landing pages, pop-ups, and free trials. I will show you live examples for this. So earlier, when lead generation was there, so people had to call or people had to fill up a actual form. Like nowadays, if people give me a form to actually fill up my name and contact details, I look at them like what. So that is old method, right? So now lead generation can be automated. There need not be any human intervention. So now we are moving into sales automation. So I gave you a little bit of example in marketing. This is sales, right? So sales, so from how I see it from my experience, so these are the steps involved in sales. So as soon as the leads come in, you do lead scoring and categorization. For example, some leads will be very hot, so they need urgent attention. For example, the lead could be from a Fortune 500 company. So you need a marketing person to immediately pay attention to them. So this lead scoring and categorization was mostly done by manual estimation and educated guess, right? So if there are a team of salespeople, has anybody watched the movie Glengarry Glen Ross here? No one? So there is a movie called Glengarry Glen Ross, Glengarry Glen Ross. So the entire movie is about sales, and it's a very interesting movie. So it clearly portrays what is the kind of pressure that salespeople go through. For example, there will be 3 salespeople in a company, and the guy will be having like 100 leads in his hand, and each lead will be in a form of a card. So he will give the most premium leads to the salesperson who has the maximum closure ratio. And then the other salesperson would get the lower quality leads. But again, when you look at that, so those were real estate leads. So again, when you look at it, so these leads, right? So some leads will be hot. If you get 100 leads, 100 contact detail, let's say a real estate company has 100 people walking in. So all these 100 people are leads. So some people will be very hot, highly likely to buy. Some people will not be very likely to buy. For example, a student who just walks in, he just finished college and he is inquiring for a 3 BHK 1 crore apartment, is most likely not going to buy, right? So you have to do the lead scoring, and based on the lead scoring, you have to follow up with the leads to close the sales. So when a salesperson has 5 leads, and out of which 2 leads has been identified as hot leads, so he has to follow up with them first because those represent the highest opportunity of closures. Then once the leads are generated, you need to do lead nurturing and education. Mostly it has been done via manual follow-up. So think about real estate or think about car sales. For example, if someone is interested in a car but not really ready to buy because he has lots of hesitations, maybe his previous car purchase was hell, and he is hesitating, he has lots of objections towards the purchase, or based on his knowledge, real estate is a very risky investment, so he has a lot of objections. So manual follow-ups, you need to nurture the leads and educate the leads. For example, the real estate guy can say that this building will last for 100 years because we have these technologies here. There is a automatic water circulation system we have installed, and things like that. If it is about cars, the guy can say you can service it only once in 15,000 kilometers and things like that. So without lead nurturing and education, the lead will not be ready to become a customer, right? This is especially when it comes to high ticket items or even educational items. Say if there is a training course for 20,000 rupees, a certification course, even those leads need nurturing. Nobody is going to buy as soon as they see an ad, right? So then you have to keep nudging them. So even if they are convinced, so every person has a natural objection towards not buying something, even if it is good for them. Because right from our childhood, we have been taught by our mothers, to say no to everything. So as soon as someone comes in, tries to sell us something, the first response is no, and that's natural and that's okay. So all these steps like lead nurturing and education is very important to make the potential lead very comfortable so that he can buy, and even when he becomes comfortable and educated and when he learns that it's okay to buy, you need to keep nudging them, maybe giving a limited time discount offer. So, okay, buy within this, I will give you this discount. So those things are like nudges, keep poking them. And then you have to close the leads. So close the leads is also, manual follow-ups, and finally asking them to, actually write the check and things like that. So all these sales are like old method, right? So far, are there any doubts? Am I moving too fast or is it too ambiguous? Okay. So new methods of automated sales. So as I told you, in marketing, in online lead forms, we create the leads. We have the people, for example, lead generation can be someone who signs up for a free trial of a SaaS product, or someone who requests a test ride of a car. So all these are lead generation online, right? And based on the information that the lead puts in into the lead form, you can actually do the lead scoring and categorization of the leads. So instead of actually manually looking at it, for example, if very high-end product like real estate or car, if 100 leads come in, a person can actually look at the 100 leads and see which of the top 20 leads are the first to follow up with. But what if you get 1,000 leads per day? You will not be able to actually manually categorize it, right? You need automation for that. So when I worked in a cloud telephony company called Exotel, we were doing lead scoring and categorization. So as soon as someone signs up for a free trial, the person who signs up for a free trial is a lead for us. We follow up with them to actually sell the actual product, which is the SaaS product, which costs monthly around 3,000 rupees. So when they sign up, we notice whether they sign up with a Gmail, live.com, Yahoo ID, or through a company ID. If it is a company ID, we give them 2 points. And indicate that there are like 10 plus employees, it gets more points. If it is like 50 plus employees, it gets even more points. Whether they are company sole proprietorship or private limited. And as soon as they sign, so this is like based on the information you can do the lead scoring. And as soon as they sign up, right, whether they are trying out the product immediately, how many pages they have visited. So whether they have spent like 15 minutes trying out the product. So if it is like 10 plus employees, private limited company, the person who has signed up is a CXO, and then he has spent like 15 minutes inside, then it's like very hot lead, very hot lead, very likely to convert. So the salesperson immediately calls them up. Immediately in the sense, like as soon as they sign up, within 15-20 minutes, he calls them up, and he says that I am your account manager. I noticed that you tried our product, and if you have any questions, so many leads convert immediately on the same day. So this is lead scoring, right? So every day we get so many leads. For example, lots of students try the free trial, sign up, try the free trial. We give 150 rupees free credits. Lots of people use that free credits and just sign up accounts for that. So they are not hot leads. Based on the behavior and the information they enter, we give a low lead score so that they are not followed up at all. So lead nurturing and education, you can do follow-up emails, videos, behavioral mails. So for example, there is a website called instapage.com, instapage.com. And as soon it's a landing page creation software. Again, it's an online SaaS product. So as soon as you sign up for that product, if you try creating a landing page and if you haven't created, then actually they track that behavior and send you a mail. Do you have any problems in creating the landing pages? So these are all the educational things. So if you created a landing page but didn't make it live, then they will send you a mail which says, you created a landing page but it's waiting to go live. Do you have any problems in that? Do you want to put it in your own custom domain? So the follow-up mails are just based on the user behavior, not just random mails, right? So then you do not just automatically these mails along with the behavioral mails can be timely discounts, upsells. You would have seen retargeting. Everyone would have experienced it by now, right? You go and click on a particular product in an e-commerce store and the ad for that just comes up again. So that is again giving you nudges, right? Keep reminding you to buy. And then closing leads into sales, like online payment and checkout automatically, it happens nowadays. So again, whatever I said, track the source of leads, lead nurturing, set up automatic sequence of follow-up mails, nudges, soft push the customer to buy, retargeting reminders, close leads, use scarcity and time limits to encourage quotient. It can be automatically handled online. So I will show you a live example from my own personal project, which I have done. Again, you can note this down. So whatever I have said during the presentation. So these are all the tools for different automation. So I will show you an example from my own personal project. So this was something I set up before I joined the few companies that I worked with. So this was 2 years back. And how many of you know about SSB interviews? Okay, you know. Yeah. So my friend completed the SSB interview and he has joined the Indian Navy as a naval officer. So SSB interview is a 5-day interview. It has physical exercises and a lot of steps to go through. You have to complete that interview to be recommended to be joined to Indian Armed Forces, whether it's Air Force, Navy, or ground. SSB interview is a huge market actually. So lots of SSB coaching centers are set up across the countries. I mean, sorry, cities, and people actually pay something like 5,000 or 10,000 rupees to go and stay there and actually learn all these things. So we set up. So it started as navaljourney.com, a blog about Indian Navy, only blogging about information that can be blogged about openly. So he started the blog like that, my friend. So this was like a partnership between me and him. And when he started the blog, he just blogged about what are all the latest technology which is coming up in the Indian Navy and things like that. But eventually he noticed that people start asking him about do you do coaching for SSB interviews? Can you help me pass the SSB interview? And a lot of people asking for educational materials and study materials because the books on Flipkart and Amazon obviously were not doing enough job. So he thought that this is a good idea and he created a booklet kind of workbook with all the information and an online forum where people can ask him questions and he can reply. And initially we started it as 400 rupees and then it became 700 and then, so right now we sell it for 1,995 rupees. So we noticed that people don't hesitate to pay that much because they need quality training. So this blog navaljourney.com has lots of articles. Right now more than 300 articles about this SSB interviews thing. So mostly what we cover in the training is already given as free in the blog in the form of articles. So whenever people search for specific areas in the training on Google, our article shows up. And we have also published articles such as top 5 SSB centers in Bangalore, top 5 SSB centers in Hyderabad. So basically they are our competition, but still we publish those articles because people searching for that would be our potential customers as well. So someone searching for top SSB centers in Hyderabad actually find our blog, they come in. So as soon as they come into our blog, so right now the blog gets around 500 to 600 visitors every day. And as soon as they come into our blog, after some 10-15 seconds, this pop-up shows up. Okay, so this pop-up says 10 tips to crack the SSB interview. Enter your name and email ID. So this is the lead generation part. So we do the lead generation here. And as soon as they enter their name and email ID, we ask them to confirm their email. And once they confirm their email, we send them follow-up mails. So this is the daily traffic. So it's around 500 to 600 right now. And we publish only one article every month right now. So past 2 months actually we have not published any article, but still the traffic, inbound traffic we keep getting. And every day we are getting around 30 to 40 leads. So this is the daily lead count. So the green line is a daily lead count and it's around, you can see it's 30 to 40 and recently it has even crossed 40. And people also unsubscribe from the mails, so that also happens, so leads drop out.
So the pop-up which you showed, the form pop-up, that should come immediately when the blog shows up or
as soon as they come into the blog.
As soon as
like after some 10 seconds.
irritating because
I know a lot of marketers think that pop-ups are irritating. Like for example, if 100 people visit your site, 95 people are going to feel that it's irritating, but those 95 people are not your customers. 5 people will opt in, and those are the 5 people who are likely to buy. So we don't mind irritating the people.
95 people be featured in the analytics, as in
Yeah.
it will show as
Yes, it will show as visitors. So they are not interested in 10 tips to crack the SSB interview. They are never going to buy my SSB product, right? So even in my personal blog, I have some pop-ups. So you would have seen lots of pop-up softwares nowadays, right? So this happens.
Do you have an automation in the backend for this? Because most people, when we capture form data, right?
Yes.
Also convert a unnamed visitor into a named visitor.
Yes.
Drop cookies and.
Yes. Actually, I will show you. There is an automation behind this. So I use a software called aweber.com. In the previous thing I showed you. So there are lots of email marketing softwares which send follow-up mails as soon as the customer signs up. So basically like lead nurturing, automated lead nurturing, it's like automated follow-ups. So as soon as they sign up, right, so this is the first mail which goes out. So they enter their name and email ID. So here I say hi first name. So it actually puts the name of that person there. yes, you can crack the SSB interview. So it's something like an encouraging mail. So inside that mail, I show them examples of people who have come from very remote backgrounds. People who you don't expect them to clear the SSB interview, so those people have cleared it. Something like a motivational mail. It's actually 1,000 words. You would think that 1,000 words people won't read, but again, the non-buyers will not read. The buyers will read. So, and then 10 great reasons why you should join the armed forces. So, of course, they are interested in joining the armed forces, but again, we send them to a blog article which talks about remuneration, what are all the benefits, and various things like that. And then we introducing our online. So this is like a third mail which goes out on the 6th day or the 5th day, right? So here we just softly introduce. So this is a training program we have. It costs 1,995. It's like a soft introduce, right? So we are not pushing them to buy because this is something like these are like students and they need money. Like 1,995 is something they would borrow from their dad, so they won't convert immediately. And then we give them a video, and then we give them like 4 common mistakes they should avoid, like free content. Actually, there are 10 mails, and you can see the open rate, right? 41%, 50, 43, 49. So 50% of the people are opening means like those people are really interested, and they are potential buyers. So actually 10 mails which goes, I don't have the space. And in each mail in the signature, so you can actually go and try signing up for this, see how I do it, right? And in every mail in the signature, we keep introducing our SSB training program. And in the 10th mail, if in the 10th mail people still don't convert, we give them a 50% off. So they can buy it for 995. So people who buy before that actually get sent off from another list, so these follow-up mails stop. So I'm not sure about the moral implications of this, but it works. It brings money to the bank. So whatever I said. So leads get follow-up mails. Each email has useful but incomplete information. So actually we try to get them to the blog or to the sales page. So useful but incomplete information is a good marketing term which lots of people use. So ssbstudy.com is a landing page where the product is sold. So 50% discount is offered. Buyers are moved to a separate list away from the prospect so that we don't keep asking them to buy again. So right now I work in a company called instamojo.com. So instamojo.com is a payments collection platform. It's like a PayPal alternative where you can collect payments for anything. Like you can sell ebooks, you can just sell consultancy or anything. And the transaction fee is 1.9%. Free setup, no maintenance fee. You can just go and sign up, just give your ID proof and address proof. You will get started immediately. So I use this platform to collect payments. The transaction fee is like if someone pays me 100, they can pay via credit card, debit card, or net banking, and I would get 98 rupees, right? So no need of going to payment gateways like CCAvenue or whatever, pay maintenance fees, do integration, whatever. Just create a payment link and sell. So from past 2 years, this is what we have sold using InstaMojo. So sales are around 10,000 per month, 10,000 to 15,000 per month. I have not focused on scaling up because I do have a full-time job, which I am focusing in, but this is like, keeps bringing in the revenue. And there is also a free ebook option. Like if they have to download a free ebook, they can, they have to share it on Facebook before they can download it. So it goes viral like that. So there is a app called Social Pay inside InstaMojo. So anyone who signs up for InstaMojo, it's free for them. You can create an ebook, viral ebook, drive some traffic to it. Anyone who wants to download it has to share it on their Facebook account. And as soon as they share it, there is a verification happening and the ebook is downloaded. So it's called Social Pay. So they pay using a tweet or a social share. So this is what I have so far. Payment gateways were made for e-commerce websites, basically. And InstaMojo is something which is better than a payment gateway. That's what I would say.
There are a lot of difference in the...
Of course, if you want to integrate, you can integrate. There is API available. And but most of the people who use InstaMojo just go inside, create a payment link, and you can send the payment link to anyone. They click on it. There is a product description there. When they click pay, there is an option for net banking, credit card payments. And as soon as they complete payment, you can either, if it is like an online downloadable product, you can offer download immediately through InstaMojo, host it on InstaMojo and let them download. Or you can redirect them to any payment URL of your choice. But nowadays, like Flipkart and other e-commerce companies have made it quite comfortable for people to pay online. So yeah, we can't do anything about that. That's what I think PayUmoney is doing right now, right? They are making people comfortable pay online so that they get more merchants also. So PayUmoney is our closest competitor. Our fees are lesser than Payu actually. Yes, we have a KYC system, but it's only address and ID proof. You just need to upload PAN card and bank statement. Which company?
I mean, the private limited company.
Even a private limited company just needs to give the PAN card and a bank statement, that's all.
And which email marketing software do you suggest?
So there are tons of email marketing softwares, but on the slide I suggested, so aweber.com and madmimi.com, both are good. Then you have something called mailchimp.com, you may have heard about it.
Deepak, what about, so this is a very siloed approach to digital, right?
Yes.
So you're using one for your landing pages, you're doing a whole different thing for your
Yes.
scoring, you're doing a whole different thing for email campaign. Personally, what I use is a complete end-to-end automation.
Okay.
Basically, they're tracking somebody from an email to a landing page to a paid ad,
Mm-hmm.
to social,
Mm-hmm.
right? What's your thoughts on that? Because managing these amount of siloed
Yes,
software is a
yes.
big problem for
Actually, you need a team for this.
Yeah.
You need a team for this to manage all these things. So,
But why not one single automation that
so what I've seen, like we have tried automation tools. For example, leadsquared.com. So they are a HSR, like Bangalore-based company, and they are directly competing with HubSpot, Marketo, Leadsquared. So they compete with.
Analytics Cloud or an Eloqua or something?
Yeah, so they do have landing pages and everything, but when it comes to all-in-one offerings, what I have seen is that it doesn't do the best job in each one. So of course it takes a little bit of extra work. For example, as long as you have some tech people in your team, in your company, it's easy to do the integration. For example, as soon as someone registers as a lead, the tech person has written a code so that the lead is automatically pushed into MadMimi for the follow-up mails. So when they register on the website. So so for us it's easy. Like as long as the tech person knowing API and doing the integrations.
API like I have known many guys like MadMimi, for example, will not have an API. For example, Salesforce is not work with most of these guys.
Yes, yes.
Right? Salesforce will, any company which is a Salesforce shop will say I will not integrate with these guys simply because Salesforce wants to push its landing page modules on
Yes.
you and their social, it wants to push its radius,
Yes.
its radius
Yes.
variant for you, right? So how does a company, like I'm dealing with this,
Ah,
I have an
ah.
automation in the backend which is not good enough. It's good but not good enough. You rightly said, these are experts in what they do. However, these don't integrate with the CRM.
Yes.
Which is again a sales problem for me because their API is really messed up, right? So how do you kind of,
So
get the best of everything with the best in the market?
So I think there will always be some growth problems associated. So right now as we are growing, so we used to get like 20-30 leads a day. Right now we are getting 150 leads a day. And there is a little bit of a problem with integration. There is an inside sales team who uses Pipedrive. And there is a MadMimi mail goes. And there is a automatically system initiated mail for verification and everything. So we are working on this problem. So this is a real problem what you said. We tried, we got the demo of Lead Squared and we saw whether this will work or thing. Again, moving all this from one platform to another again has some costs and things like that. So ideally, I am waiting for such a ideal software which will be like do everything. Yes.
It's an Eloqua in the market. Only problem is they're asking us for a 3-year lock-in.
Yes.
Which
Yes.
is again a
Yes.
ridiculous
Yes.
thing that I'm not going to pay them, right? I'm
Yes.
not going to pay them for a 3-year lock-in. Another thing that you actually gave a list of your 5 emails, right? So I can see that you're doing drip campaigns.
Drip campaigns, yes.
You're doing your drip
Lead
campaigns
nurturing,
to
yeah.
get leads. How does it integrate with the website workflow? So is it just an email score, and you say, for example, you said the 10th guy who does not read an email gets a street discount,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Do you also integrate website workflows into
So right now I have not done that with my personal project. Ideally, I would like to do that, kind of try to increase the revenue and everything. But lead scoring is not necessary if your entire marketing and sales is automated, right? Lead scoring basically is which opportunity to follow up first. So because human sales time is limited, so you need to know which is a high quality lead. But everything when it is automated, like all leads are equal because it doesn't cost the server to send mails. So it keeps going. So of course for example, someone who goes on the website spends more time is a higher quality lead. But right now I have not done anything to integrate the website activity and the email activity. But ideally, for example, if you sign up for Mixpanel you can do something like that. Or Lead Squad also you can do something like that. You can get a lead to a particular stage. For example, you can set a rule. If they have spent like 2 minutes on the landing page, then give another score to the lead or take the lead to the another stage. And as soon as they go to the another stage, you trigger emails. And Lead Squad actually does a very good job. You can actually have an inside sales team, and the inside sales team can be notified that a particular lead has come to this stage, so call them up immediately.
So we actually do a lot of this. We have integrated our email integration, so web integration to our email.
Mm-hmm.
So wherein somebody comes to my big data page, spends 2 minutes, downloads one white paper, gets a high score of 5, send another case study which is on that, gets a score of 10. Eventually he gets a score of say, benchmark him at a score of 50. Where I've seen this entire process completely fall on its face is when it gets passed on to a manual sales team. So I can get scores and scores and scores I can put, but at the end of the day the calling is done.
Yes.
There's a guy who needs to then look at the score and then do his calling.
Yes,
That's
yes.
Is there a similar problem that
Yes. We are facing this problem right now.
a digital marketer spends his sweat and blood and creates workflows and creates a score and
Yes,
creates everything
yes.
and then sales at the end treats it as an Excel.
Yes. So ideally what I would like to do, like if I had control over the sales team as well, pass on the leads to the sales team only if they have reached a particular stage. Otherwise all the other leads should be blind to the sales team. They should not be. Yeah.
They see, you know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
yes.
I'm not saying this is a sales qualified. Right? I'm a sales guy, so this is a marketing qualified.
Yes.
It means interaction of 15 plus
Yes.
or whatever algorithm I put in. But I still see that, you know what, then what happens is sales does a sales scoring on top of a marketing score.
Yes.
So what happens is then, you know, the funnel kind of gets skewed, whereas you have a 1,000:2 ratio, which is where the funnel completely like.
Yes. So ideally, the ideal situation is like, you know, if the sales guy calls 10 people, one should convert. Those 10 leads only should go to the sales people. Other things should be blind. So at Excotel, we had a 10% conversion ratio from leads to, like actually the calls made to the actual conversions. And maybe you can even increase to 20%, 1 in 5. So you just have 2 sales people, but they actually convert like 10 customers, 20 customers every day. Something like that, based on the lead scoring.
These campaigns being more successful than simply being in the nature of business. For example, I would buy SSB course material over the internet, but I would not buy 6 million big data projects over the internet. However, we still are supposed to use digital marketing.
Yes, so from the FMCG, so I think we have time up, so last minute. So I have a graph which I have not included in this presentation. So basically you have very high ticket items and very low ticket items. So let's say a low ticket item is a soap or a brush or a paste, say FMCG item. So for that, just imagine one line and one triangle on top which is marketing and one triangle, inverted triangle on bottom which is sales. So when you see marketing will be very high for something like a soap because it's a mass consumer product. You cannot go and do sales, call them up, call someone, ask them to buy a soap. It's not worth the time, right? So you have almost zero sales, like zero sales. And then you have something which is like a 1,000 rupee product. You still have a lot of marketing, and here you do the lead scoring so much so that the conversion ratio is very high. The salesperson calls 3 people and converts one. It's a 1,000 rupee product. Then you go to a 5,000 rupee product. The salesperson can actually call something like 5 people and get 1 person to convert. The marketing keeps going down as the ticket price keeps increasing. So let's say Infosys is trying to sell a multi-million-dollar IT project to a company in Europe. They can't do marketing for that. So the sales team will be so huge. They actually have a team of salespeople. They'll try to get contacts, you know, through conferences, meetings, and then try to set up a meeting and then present their product. So that's how it progresses. But now with the digital marketing stuff, you just don't need to do marketing. You can actually do sales also without actually having a sales team. That's it. So I have a personal blog about digital marketing. It's called digitaldeepak.com. You can note it down. You can visit my blog. Maybe, you know, I have a LinkedIn link, and maybe you can connect with me, ask me questions, or just follow my blog for posts. Like I publish 1 or 2 posts every month. Thanks a lot.